What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is Chewburger84 here, and we are bringing some Marvel Strike Force to you from the Alternate Reality Network. Now, this is a rushed vid. There's no video of me because this was done at 4 o'clock in the morning. We are trying to clear 100% on our first go-around with my alliance, but my aim is to show you the first half of this raid. How did I charge my storm? The mistakes that I made very, very badly on Node 2 while doing that. And then also showing you Wakanda. Can we answer the question now? Are they the premier raid team that was promised? Now, my Wakanda, for when we get to those guys, they are T11, T12, very, very close to T12 for the whole squad. And there are 10 T4 abilities on that team. There is really not that many I have left to go. If they can't do it as they are, admittedly, it says recommended for, level 75. I understand that. But with that many T4s invested, and obviously what Foxnex was saying about this team, we expect them to perform really, really well. Or do we? Alright. So, I'm not going to lie, I was trying to race through these early nodes. I assume that like many other raids, even though it's obviously a level 75 intended raid, that it would be a pushover. That you could simply just log in, crush everything, and then charge your storm, and then, get back to work on, say, node 3. I was wrong, folks. I was really, really wrong. And it was in about 2 turns from now that I realized this, that just because they're about, 43k and my characters are very similar in CP, they are nothing to be sneezed at. Now, it's really good that there's no Magneto in this first wave, because obviously Juggernaut would go crazier much early. But the fact that we have a Cap and an Iron Man on the bench obviously helps out a little bit as well. So get that shield throw out there. Of course, we don't knock anything over. And there it goes. Elektra dropping that rocket. What would we do without Minerva in the modern raids, folks? What would we do? So she's incredible. I mean, later on, Wakanda does hit a wall, just to give you some spoilers. And the Menardians team just performs significantly better if you have Ultron in as a 5th. And I'll talk a little bit about that towards the end. So we're starting to get a little bit of momentum here. Obviously, there's a little bit of danger on the board when it comes to Deadpool, Crossbones. I mean, you name it. There's death all over this field. Let's be honest here. So, and then some irritation from, of course, Miles Morales. Like, when he gets those disrupts off, like he did just now, the fact that you're not going to get, any passive new heals up on Rocket once Star-Lord has been bumped up with some heals, and he would be the new target. Those little things are quite irritating. And that's where Spider-Verse, in raids, where they're obviously so much higher CP than they are with the versions that we have at home, can really cause some damage. That's the only time they really upset shield. So it's Groot's turn here. I was debating, do I go for the defense up? But of course that would have missed 2 characters, so I went for the cleanse instead. That way the heal over time can pick up. Thank God for slightly bigger health pools. I thought we needed the death proof there on Rocket, but thankfully we did not. Alright, Wolvie coming in doing his thing. He's obviously getting his ult ready. This was something that I was aware of in the back of my mind at the time, and that is exactly why I threw the blind up on them. Now, this is something you need to know early. In these first couple of lanes, you are going to see that you're going to smash things, and you're going to be able to apply debuffs, some blinds, and all the fun stuff that you need to be able to land. Here's the thing. Later nodes, nothing is going to stick, because they are all 6 and 7 red stars at insanely high gear levels. They just resist everything. I've had my Brotherhood nuked when I was trying to get to some chipping away at one of the big nodes. I've had my shield annihilated because you can't, land those offense downs and stripping those debuffs. It's an incredibly painful experience. So these first nodes, things do hit hard, of course, but later on, need to be some level upgrades. Where's that 75 at? Need gold, needs level 75. So that's first node. That's how we're charging us some storm. I think there's a better team for this. I think you could probably do a lot of that work with shield. The fact that there is some disrupts flying around early doesn't help. Shield's usability has definitely fallen off a little bit. You could probably use an Ultron variant, I think, to protect the storm a little bit better. So this is not the team that I would recommend. Something a little bit more tanky. Probably throwing in a Thanos in the middle there, maybe instead of the Rocket. It's going to be super slow. There's a timeout risk. You're going to get more charges that way anyway. But at the end of this, I get pretty close to full charges. But spoilers, I'm going to have to resurrect my Storm on the final node when we get there tonight. Because unfortunately, she doesn't make it. Yeah, I made some bad choices with A, team choice for charging right now, and B, some of the abilities and targets that I chose in this particular lineup. So let's have a look at it. I mean, there's death all over the field here. I always hate nodes, especially in Fear the Darkness, Enter the Darkness, where they have twin troopers next to some sort of a tank, because it's just irritating. You know, I could have gone for shield security at the start. I probably should have, to be honest. Or more importantly, there's that pyro. Like, we know how much of a real pain in the anus that pyro can be, especially when you're getting buffs up all over your team from Groot. Because he's going to come in, he's going to strip those off, he's going to turn them against you with extra bleeds. It's just not a lot of fun. So the good news is, because Groody was taunted, it's not as big a deal. And it also means that we can go straight in for either a cleanse. Also had the option there to go straight for the D up and the death proof up. I didn't. I probably should have. I mean, you know, Minerva can get a little bit of heal action out of there. Obviously, once we get a couple of deaths here. But the way that this node drops out, man, it's not friendly. That's for sure. Those bleeds from Minerva and that 15% health, that came in really handy on that turn. Now, we don't want Groot to die. We don't have the ability to do much about that because he was ability blocked. That's just the way life rolls in raids, man. All right. So I was really pondering what to do here, whether to trigger the taunt or not, because I knew that if I did taunt, he was probably going to die. Now, look at that. There is nothing that you can hit there without copping at least one counter from those idiot troopers. Now, here I went for the Mordo first because I wanted to avoid the heal block. Again, this was a dumb move because really I needed the shield security to go down. The problem with going after security turn 1 is that, of course, you are going to eat it from all 3 of those troopers. So they're going to basically triple tap anyone that tries to shoot them, which is an inevitability anyway. So this was not amazing. Having an extra blind or something on this team would have been much more beneficial. This was not a good choice. I didn't have enough characters to soak. And as you can see, I paid a really bad price. You know, everyone is down for the count. So yeah, I actually should have quit battle. That's something that I thought about editing out, but you guys that watch my content know I try and give you an honest appraisal. Sometimes I'm an idiot, sometimes I make bad choices, and you see what you just saw. All right, so at this point, I went, you know what, screw it. Storm's got enough charge. I can pop her out again later. Shouldn't have charged with Menardians like that, because obviously that cost me later on by having to res them up, and some of their abilities were on cooldown, so that screwed me over and definitely led to some more cores being spent. But that's the joy of going into these things blind. If you don't know what these nodes look like, you know, you're going to potentially make some moron mistakes just like that, especially if you're an Aussie pretending to be someone that knows what he's talking about. So we've got a 250k Wakandan team. They're in pretty good shape. They got T4s coming out the wazoo. It's not the 7775 that is recommended, okay? There is still a couple of guys I'm talking to that are saying this team with 7775 can go right up to 3 nodes before the end and clear. As you're about to see, they do okay up until about the Nick Fury node. After that, I just don't know if they've got the juice. I think the Menardians team is much better. If it was me, I would probably not put the T4s in Wakanda right now until we know more. If you're sitting on T4s, dump them into your X-Men, dump them into your Menardians. It's just going to be much better value. This is obviously one of the areas where the big M'Baku comes to shine, because if you kill someone with that, he's just going to dance around. Now look at that. Okoye, she's so squishy. She's so unbelievably squishy. But her assists, man, like I definitely underrated what she can do with those. So yeah, she nearly died. But that was a bit of a cleanup crew. That's not a fair test of what Wakanda can do. This next node, it's all on them. Can they clear it? And can they do it comfortably? Can we get through it without heal energy? All right, you're about to find out. Okay, so Okoye was just too hurt. I mean, they're going to get the opening turn, but to waste that heal from Okoye Shuri. To waste that heal from Shuri would have been a little bit too much. So we've got the Okoye up. That's 20 heal energy down. I didn't want to talk about what I've spent today on heal energy. Like well in excess of 1,000 cores. And I think I'm going to need maybe 3 attempts to get through this final node of mine before I can even join the boss fight. It gets real hard out there, folks. And one of the downsides sometimes of not wailing out extra hard as a content creator is that you don't have those T12, T13 teams where you need them. So Okoye with a nice opening hit. We've got that offense up on her now. That means that we can get out there with some Killmonger on the assist. Now, I just wanted this Iron Fist gone. So I just basically opened up. I could have done some AoE damage, but if it didn't crit, just hitting 2 guys felt like a bit of waste. We get that block coming out of M'Baku. I don't have his passive T4 yet. If I decide to keep investing in Wakanda, which right now I'm on hold, 10 is more than enough to make an assessment for me. I may come back and put that on him just so we can absorb a lot more damage in the opening round. All right, just a little heal block onto Carnage. Make sure there's no health coming back there if somehow they drop a lot of health on me. Now, we really wanted the assist here from Okoye. It goes off. Now, I do have her passive upgraded. And since I did that, and to the people that gave me that advice, thank you so much, it makes a massive difference. Like, her ability to pull off buffs is actually pretty fantastic. So, I've been really happy with Okoye's changes since I T4'd her basic. Now, that there wasn't a fantastic play, just because of the fact that I really needed to take down the Luke Cage. I got pretty lucky, however, that defense up stuck, and that meant that Black Panther could actually do a little bit of damage. On BP, the only T4s that I have are his ultimate and his passive for now. But as you can see, I got stuck behind that Luke Cage. All right, and now I've got all these debuffs raining out from these guys. This is where Miles Morales and Venom combined in raids, where they have so much health, can be a real pain. Because if you go after Venom, or if you don't go after Venom, he's just going to start healing. Now, this is the perfect BP setup. It's situations like this that you sort of go, okay, maybe Wakandans have got something. But, yeah, it's rare and it's few and far between. One of the nodes coming up is basically built for Black Panther, as you'll see very shortly. But when he gets on these kill sprees, really unfortunate I didn't get the Okoye assist there. That would have made a huge difference. All right, so at this point I was debating, do I go for the heal up now? Do I go for the defense up? I went for the heal up. Not too sure if it was the best call. You know, to be honest, I think the D up might have been better. Nothing would have killed me that next round. And then these bleeds that are up right now would have done significantly less damage. And I would have been in better shape going into the next node. So this is definitely one of those choices that it was like, maybe I should have gone the other way. All right. It also means that I use the D up later in the match, which makes it much less likely to be able to go into the next turn with that up. Tried to strip the buff off Spidey. It didn't land. The joys of RNG and higher red stars, ladies and gents. It's just what happens. All right. We've got one set of charge on Black Panther. We decided to use it. Probably could have held it, but I just wanted that character off the map. All right, there goes the clear on the punch from Iron Fist. Probably should have put that heal block onto Iron Fist, really, if I was playing this better. This is one of the joys of commentating after you've played the match, going, idiot, 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 idiot. Whereas normally I'm going, oh, this is what I'm going to do next. All right. So the team's really hung on. I got lucky that Okoye didn't get targeted that much. She still got all of her counters up. That's a lovely heal. I mean, one thing credit to Shuri, man, is that even only on 4 reds, which I'm pretty sure what I've got on her, she delivers in the heal department, if she can get it off. I just wish it was on maybe 1 cooldown less. And I also wish so hard that her order of that heal was cleanse, heal, instead of heal, cleanse. Because when you have those heal blocks, oh man, if it decides to target the heal block last, sometimes you can have 3 or 4 heals just go straight down the toilet, man. Straight down the toilet. So we said this node was all about putting the pressure on Wakanda. Could they do it by themselves? The answer is yes, but not quickly. All right, the real downside of Wakanda, if there is one, is they are not doing damage fast enough. Now, I haven't necessarily got the greatest red stars on them, but the thing that's always frustrating me about red stars is that getting them up to the level that you want is very much out of your control. You know, yes, that system's changed slightly at the moment, that if you get enough dupes, you can target the characters that you want. It's still very expensive. You know, you're still prioritizing characters that I think is still a little bit underwhelming with those credits. So it's like, is it worth it? There is a bit of a bug I noticed as well when it comes to the way your health is reported on that main screen in Ultimus 7 and the way that it actually is when you log in. Because quite a few times throughout this raid, my guys have looked really, really healthy, like maximum. And check that out. Like most of these guys are nowhere near max health. And the numbers that's reported on that main screen, it's actually wrong as well. Now, these nodes are built for Black Panther. All right, this is basically a node that they went, all right, we need to make Wakanda feel pretty good before the end. So we go in, our opening rotation, we're going to be able to take out the War Machine pretty comfortably. Now, that means we know we're going to eat one of Iron Man's ults. That's a great little assist right there. Just stripping off that, that death proof. Yeah, so good. The offense up, obviously, from those guys on Iron Man. You're like, well, would it have been a better choice to let Black Panther unleash on that first turn? And this is what I was thinking at the moment. Maybe I can set this node up to get a big kill with this AoE. And look at that. If you fill it with minions, Black Panther gets to dance and dance and dance. So this is one node that Wakanda shines. You know, it's just full of tiny minions and you can unload. It does have an interesting drop order. I probably should have gone harder in on Iron Man at this point, just to really take advantage, because he wouldn't have had that death proof if it wasn't for that combo. So, yeah, that was definitely a play error by myself, but I was just trying to keep the streak of Black Panther going. Wasn't really worth it. All right, we get the kill on M'Baku, so he gets to dance a little bit more that day as well. And then we see if we can start the train rolling again. So this here, the best play is obviously the special. I didn't do that. I went for the ultimate because he wasn't charged. That is a very dumb thing to do. So in hindsight, that would have been a much better opportunity for a special. Set up the next turn on the lower guys so that when he changed, when he went in with a charge, he could do significantly better with more repeated turns. You gotta love it. Well, if I had have done it again, I'd do it this way. But yeah, so the Wakanda's doing quite well on this node. So the first half of this raid, obviously I didn't use Wakanda on the first two nodes, but I think they would clear through that with the amount of investment that I've got. But let's face it, if I had 10 T4s in a Menardians team with Ultron, it'd probably be doing pretty damn well as well. You know, if they gave me the option right now to say, Chew, we're going to give you the option. Do you want to refund all the T4s off your Wakandan team so you can put them where you feel like it? I think I'd take it. I think I really would take it. I just don't know if these guys scale better at 70 to 75. Maybe there's a greater plan for Wakanda. So they do well to the middle half of this raid, then they really fall off. They fall off really, really hard, and Menardian shines. So rather than building two teams to do the one job of this raid, just build one, guys. For now, if you haven't really farmed hard on Wakanda, I'm hoping that they're thinking about a rework. I'm hoping they're thinking about buffing Wakanda to make this what it should have been, what they promised us, the Premiere raid team. We'll see. We'll see. I mean, if there is a way to play this, if there is a way to do it with this many T4s, Fox Next, I'm happy for you to tell me what I got wrong. Reach out. Tell me what I got wrong. Because, yeah, for me, just stay with the Menardians and Ultron. If you haven't got Ultron, your primary focus right now for farm should 100% be Ultron. Because, yeah, he's a game changer in every mode, and this is no exception. Alrighty then. Okay. So coming in hot with some more hits from the Wakandan team. I was about to say, why is this half dead? But of course, that's because my lane mate here has already hit it. So he made my life significantly easier. I would have loved to show you guys this node without this, but this will give you a bit of an opportunity to see what we did here. Now, I really thought about using that ult from the big man, but he would have taken some damage from that trooper. And as you can see, that cluster of abilities just there, it was much better to go through and use the defense up and to use the taunt. That was a nice little combo from Black Panther. I got to admit, putting that energy into his ult, when he's rocking a lot of charge, he does some damage. You know, I just wish he had a little bit more. I look at it and I go, well, if I put the T4 in his special, or if I put the T4 in his basic, yes, it gives that guaranteed slow, but what else am I going to get? This was a nice little dance from Killmonger as well. So cleared out that cable because we got that lucky crit in the middle. All right. Now, at this point, I'm thinking, all right, I've got 2 targets that I need to take out really badly. That is obviously the Deadpool before his second turn, and then Loki before his second turn as well. Just because Loki, when he's making your guys do this, it has the opportunity to really go badly for you. Then if he hides the whole team as well, that can also go quite badly. However, one thing that you can do on nodes like this, and I thought about doing it, was letting Loki get his ultimate off, because then you can use his minions to set up a massive Black Panther kill streak. Now, I don't know that I played this wrong, but that's definitely something I thought about later on, where I was like, man, I really could have set up something beautiful here. Probably went 1 turn too early for the Black Panther ult as well, because he only had the 1 charged up. It didn't really do what we needed it to do. Everyone's looking pretty hurt right now. You know, we very much needed that defense up from Shuri. Without it, this would have been a guaranteed loss right there. I'm looking at that offense up on the Trooper right now, and I'm thinking, man, if I don't get rid of that, this is going to hurt. And yet, I still went after the Shield Trooper. Like an idiot. I do figure it out very shortly. That I was like, oh yeah. And then you've got Fury. Like, what a threat there as well, because he's got an offense up. He's got a speed up on himself. Both of those things were a massive risk that I should have addressed significantly earlier. Then, of course, you have that operative. You know, that's something that Black Panther should look at and just basically eat both of those very quickly. Get that momentum running. But again, it's not necessarily the way I started this node out. I should have, but I didn't. All right. So that's always a screen you do not want to see. The good thing is Wakandans are not bad at dealing with this sort of thing. That there, I should have definitely hit on the 2 minions and got a couple of turns worth of support there. Got that ult up, you know, got a little bit more damage. The triple tap from our buddy Killmonger. You don't see that too often, but when it does go off, it's a beautiful thing. Now, at this point, I'm thinking this is not going to go well, right? Without M'Baku, with that much issues up right now, so many of those buffs, if I don't bail, I'm going to regret it later. So in the trying to conserve heal energy, I decided to bail. I decided to run away like a scared little boy, cry a little bit in the bathroom, and then come back and give it a go. And this is exactly why, before these type of events, I hoard raid energy. Because I know that I play these nodes, I need to go away, I need to think about it, I need to go, this is what you did wrong here, here, and here, and here. And man, am I had a bad day in raids, folks. I had a terrible day. But that's what you get. I mean, trying to be a Progression Alliance. The joys of just failing upwards. All right. So this is the last node that we're going to play in this. I do apologize, guys. I know a lot of you probably want to see the last half of the raid as well, because a lot of you are probably clearing this reasonably comfortably. But yeah, I was at work. I was out actually at a desert hospital for most of the day. And the reality is I did not have time to be able to record it without wasting raid energy. And then everyone would get mad at me in our alliance. So yeah, what I'm going to do is we've obviously got another attempt coming up early next week. And what I'm going to show you is the first half. So these exact same nodes. I'm going to show you the comparison between these guys and the Minardi and Ultron team, which I just think is better. You're going to see that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from Fury forward. I'm going to show you what the Wakandans look like. And then when they inevitably die and then we have the big boys take over, I'm going to show you what that looks like. So this is going to end pretty shortly here. It's a relatively tidy cleanup. A couple of mistakes as always. But yeah, the good news is this is nowhere near as big a jump as Ultimus 6 was when it first came out. You know, this is much more doable for a lot of alliances. You're going to spend some cores for the first couple of attempts if you're like us. I think some of the bigger guys, like your Pants of Hulk and your Legions of Cabals, they would have spent some, but I think they'd probably cruise through okay. But I think what I'm going to do for a little while now is a couple of the teams coming soon, I think I'm going to skip them. I think I'm going to double down and really improve my Menardians team, max them out, put some T4s in. Phoenix X-Men, obviously, just to give me another strong contender in AW. Not that I'm farming deliberately for AW at the moment, and then Arena. So, guys, look, Wakanda with that many T4s is okay, but I would argue at this stage, what could you have done with those same T4s? You could have made a monstrous Menardians, which would have destroyed in Arena, it would destroy in Alliance War defense, it would destroy in these raids. Right now, gun to my head, if you said choose Wakanda, are they the premier raid team? The answer is no. Could they be with a couple of tweaks? Yeah. I think a slight damage boost to BP, a slight damage boost to Killmonger, some health increases or defense to Okoye, probably some more focus for Okoye as well. Having her naturally strip more of these buffs, I think would come in super handy. But, folks, that's where we're at the moment. That's the first half of Ultimus 7. Was a good gameplay, not the whole way through. I'm going to learn from this. I'm going to come back. We're going to teach you strategies. As many of these videos ask, folks, learn from me. Learn from my mistakes. If you haven't done your Ultimus 7 yet, here's a couple of examples of what to do and what not to do. There's 2 nodes there that Wakanda's going to destroy because of the Black Panther Dance All Day mechanic. Whereas, later on, not so much. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. I should have my video mic repaired in a couple of days if all goes well. I'll be back. I've got some more videos I want to make this week to catch up for those that we missed over the last couple of weeks. So thank you for watching. Make sure you head to alternatereality.com. Check out our other podcasts. Make sure you listen to the Strikeforce Masters of Launch podcast every single Tuesday. And until next time, cheers.